Well, here I am in my masterclass video. Can you believe I've managed to get Marco Irby, my artistic director, out behind from backstage and around to the front camera. We've been talking about what it takes to put a show together. And Marco, being my artistic director, is in charge of the imagery and the way my shows are portrayed and put together. The costumes you can see behind us are actually Marco's creations. He makes them here in London at his home, at his studio. Marco, just tell us about the lead time it takes for us to make a collection.
It takes about, I will say, on average, between 8 and 10 months. So it's like having a baby, really.
It's like having a baby, isn't
Yes.
it? And it really is, because of course we start naming it, don't we? We sort of want to know the name of it. We start getting a feeling of what's happening. So Marco will start with the dresses, and then actually we'll start with the concept first.
Well, we start with the concept first. So with the mood, the mood is the most important thing. And then we'll kind of define where we want to go with that mood. And then, kind of start getting bits and pieces together, do a bit of research, and then you get either excited or not excited about it. And normally you get excited, which is good. I think
and I might add, if I don't get excited about it, it's because I'm not yet, you've already processed it in your brain.
Yeah.
And so you've already had an opportunity to really look at what you want to do.
Yeah.
So sometimes for me, it takes a little while to get on board.
Yeah, so I just have to rephrase basically the concept in order for Patrick to get excited about it, and then he will get excited about it. And then that basically is a little seed for you to will germinate in the back of your mind. Then you will go off to New Zealand.
Yeah. I'll disappear for a while.
For 2 months, and I'm busy, and then by the time you come back, I have something concrete to show you, which kind of kicks off the actual hair part, really, because everything up to that point, some of it is embryonic, something is techniques that we've been trying with, but nothing really is decided. And then by the time you actually have concrete outfits that can actually show you, then everything kind of kicks into place. You say okay, that, for that I've got the perfect hairstyle, we can go in this direction, we can do this, and then you're going to try a few things, and then we'll see what works best. Yeah.
Which is absolutely true. And when I'm working, I work on mannequin heads. So I have a workroom in my London home, and I have all my mannequin heads there on the fireplace. And so what I'll do, isn't it, Marco? I'll start by putting a concept together.
Yeah.
So I've listened to what Marco wants to portray. It may be romance, it may be more couture, it may be sort of anything from festival hair right through to something very, very elegant. So what I'll do then is I'll take those ideas, put them onto the mannequin heads. They will be on my fireplace, and then I'll go back and revisit.
That's right.
And I'll take one down, redo it again, put it back up. Then I might come back in a week or a couple of weeks' time, take another 2 down, rework them and put them back up. And then when I've kind of got them there, then Marco, you come over and have a little look.
Then we do a little bit of editing. So we'll see, basically, as a collection, you want to be as cohesive as possible. It kind of has to tell a story. Everything needs to be related to each other. So you can't have, 3 great hairstyles and then one that is not quite so, and everything has to work. Also, the way I'm always kind of thinking of a show, it's not as singular individual pieces, it has to be viewed as a collection. And I think one of the good things that we do, and we spend a lot of time with, it's for us the finale of a show. When the education is done and all the technical part is done, for us the finale is really important. That's the most emotional part. That's a couture moment.
It's the cherry on top of the cake, isn't it? Yeah, so when you're doing that, we'll pair up models. We'll get different models together, we'll group things, and so that the whole presentation really comes across as something quite stunning.
Yeah, and at that point we kind of decide, okay, these 3 hairstyles will be great, kind of walking down the runway together, wearing this and doing that. And, for us, we really have this kind of visual of what the show should look like. And also, I think one of the things that's happening now in the last few years with social media and the way that people take pictures of the show, there are certain things that you have to keep in mind, because obviously you don't want the clothes to interfere too much, but at the same time you want the clothes to complement. The way we lit the show is very important. The way the show is choreographed is really important, because you want, at any given point that the model is on stage, you want the perfect shot, because, there's like hundreds of people in the audience, people taking pictures from different points of view, and you want to make sure that every shot is a great shot. After all, it's your good name there, so you want to make sure that, it does you justice.
It's absolutely true. And you heard Marco talk a little bit earlier on. We also love women. We love women to be women. So we're never looking for that size 0. We're never, ever looking for that stick figure. We're looking for women who enjoy being women. So for us, having that attitude, having that class on stage, having that feeling that they're having amazing time on stage is really, really important.
Yeah, and it's really nice. I mean, for me personally, I've been dealing with models for like 25 years, and models are really, it's a different breed of person, you know. If they love you, they will give you 110%. If they don't like you, they will make your life hell. And the thing is, Patrick is on stage being Patrick, and I'm backstage dealing with all of that.
I'm on stage being lovable.
And I'm there literally dealing with monsters sometimes. The thing is, if they like the hair, if they like the clothes, I tell you what,
if they like you.
If they like me, which is rare, but you know, sometimes they do, and then they're a pleasure to work with, and it makes everything so much nicer. But I think over the years, I think we developed a way to design shows to make sure that all the models are comfortable. They don't show more than they're willing to show, more than they're comfortable showing on stage. Which I would never ask a model to wear something that I wouldn't be prepared to wear myself.
Really?
Well, maybe that shows a little bit too much chest hair, but anyway. But also, I think it's really important. Like, you know, we developed a way of designing shows where we always say this: the emphasis is the hair. The hair is the most important thing. The costumes, the dresses are, you know, the frame that kind of supports it, but at the same time is never the main focus. And it's really nice. I think, you know, we always talk about, you know, the balance, what the balance should be. And so let's say Patrick wants to do something that has a particular balance. Obviously, I'm not going to, you know, if he says I want something that's very low on the neck, I'm not going to say, oh, it would be great if you put a great big coat over it. You know, we have to work together in terms of balancing the hair, balancing the clothes, making sure that the angles on stage when the models have been photographed are the correct angles, and really they show the best part of that. So yeah, there is a lot of consideration. It's not just randomly picking clothes or randomly picking ideas and just, you know, fingers crossed and hoping for the best. There is a lot of planning involved.
So there you go. You can see that it's a collaborative event. Marco and I work together to get the very best out of a Patrick Cameron presentation. I heard a little bit earlier on, you were talking about what it takes to make a show if perhaps you're just starting out. And my advice, again, very much like Marco's, is keep it simple. There's a very famous saying, less is more. And when you're starting out, that's a really good way to go. Dress the models even the same. Find something very, very simple, a simple silhouette that you can make all the models look absolutely beautiful as one collection. And then, as Marco said, always throw the emphasis back to the hair.
Yeah, that's very, very important. And also always think of how that model is perceived from different angles, you know, because it's one thing, you know, when you take a head-on, you know, shot and you think, okay, that looks great, but then, you know, maybe she turns around and something doesn't really quite work. I mean, it's a 360 business. You know, once that model is on stage, it's been viewed by, you know, everyone from very different points of view. So you really have to assess everything from everywhere, really.
And absolutely. And one of the key things is make your model feel comfortable.
Always
make them feel comfortable. And we make our girls feel like amazing princesses. Yeah. They go away absolutely flying, feeling like they've had an amazing experience. And that's what we want. That's what we strive for. And that's also what our audience feels once we're out there. So Marco, thank you for coming out.
Well, thank you for having me.
The camera. It's been lovely having you out here. So he's going to duck back around the camera. And of course, stay tuned. Look out on our social media for all the things that we're doing. And check out our masterclass, because this has been so much fun.
Yeah, excellent.